Hidden away in some northern Ontario lakes is a beautiful species of trout called splake. Splake are a hybrid of a brookie male and a female lake trout, and they are incredible to catch and they're incredible to cook. Today I've got a recipe for you, and we are going to poach the trout, and to accompany it we are going to make wild rice. The first step is to get a mushroom base for the wild rice. The first step is to add a couple tablespoons of butter. Let that begin to melt. Make sure your pan is preheated and good and hot. And then have a look at these beautiful mushrooms. So these are mushrooms. They are, look at that. Look at those gorgeous ribs. Now make sure whenever you're using wild mushrooms, these are wild oyster mushrooms, make sure to double check and make absolutely certain at all times that they are in fact the right species. But these are oysters. They're going to be delicately flavored and perfectly paired with that wild rice. Make sure to season them with salt and pepper. I've just got a little bit of flake sea salt and some fine ground black pepper. That in. Now let's have a look at this beautiful splake. I wrapped it up in parchment to keep it from drying out in the refrigerator. This is great to do. The one thing about putting it in a plastic bag is great, but storing it in the plastic bag long term, the fish begins to decay and you'll get a lot of water. It'll be sitting in water. So you can see how beautiful the flesh is. You can see I've cleaned that bloodline out. You can see the eyes are nice and clear and how beautiful he is. We're gonna just lay them. So this goes in the pan like this. I'll just hook the tail around, and then I'll begin putting in all the beautiful ingredients for the poach. Mushrooms will be perfect to poach with. I'm just gonna trim the back off, and then I want to just flip them over and give them a nice slice. Got a little bit more. I'm gonna take that woody part off and just continue to slice. These are gonna give the stock some real richness, and they'll be delicious to serve with it. So mushrooms in. This is the pleasure of cooking wild fish, is that you can add a little bit of wild mushroom in with it. So we'll put that in, a little bit of wild mushroom, love that. Then I'm gonna use citrus, and for the citrus, I'm just gonna take and slice lime. The reason we slice it is so that we can get as much out as possible. You could just slice it in half, but doing these rings will really get all of the juices, all of that, the oils, and of course it's common knowledge that citrus and fish are a perfect pairing. So we'll arrange these in here. I'm putting the ingredients in right now first because I've got to add water and I don't want to overfill it. It's really important to make sure to develop flavor with the mushrooms. So you can see they're nicely browned, and now it's time to go in with the wild rice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a couple scoops here. We'll put in a full cup. And then with rice, wild rice in particular, the ratio of liquid is 4:1. So I'm just gonna quickly coat this rice with all that beautiful fat, and then I will top it up with 4 cups of water. Make sure to cover it and turn the temperature down. Leave that for about 50 minutes and it will bloom and they'll be beautiful. Now have a look at these. I've got these really nice small pearl red onions. Trim the base and slice them in half, and then just gently peel that outside layer, revealing the beautiful flesh underneath. Now these can go straight in. These are going to serve a couple purposes. These will really flavor this stock, but they will also be really good to serve with it. They're beautiful. You can see we're focused on color. Now I've got some dill that I packed in, and we'll put a couple sprigs of dill. The dill is going to be a really big hit. And lastly, I'm going to put some garlic in. So just crush, take a few cloves of garlic, trim off the base like this, slice it in half, and we'll put that in there whole. Just make sure to take off the skin. The last ingredient for poaching is going to be leek. So I'm going to actually start at this green end. So you've got white, and it goes to light green and then dark green. I'm going to slice it where it goes dark green. That's very tough and difficult to eat. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to slice about 1/2 inch rings near the top where it's still green. These rings are gonna go in and we'll serve them later. The last step is to completely cover the trout in water and then gently season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to bring this to a boil and then reduce it to just a very light simmer. Served family style, this beautiful northern splake is more than enough to serve at least 6 people. Now for a side, I've got some sauteed asparagus. Of course, we'll flake off the beautiful flesh and some of the veg that are in the poaching liquid and finish it off with that wild rice. This has to be the best way that I can think of to honor this incredible northern fish.